said the venue, he took it to himself to make sure she was looked after, which is a true gentleman. So we for the time. Looks like New Zealand just scored a try. We'll confirm that in a moment.
So Queen Ace 8 flop, all diamonds. Nobody's holding a diamond. The Queen of Howards has gone ahead. He's on the button. He raised. He's going to continue. And you'll get quick folds from the other two players.
When you said the Queen of Howards has gone ahead, I thought we had 5 different suits now. What are the Howards? I know what the hearts are, the diamonds. So it looks like New Zealand have put their foot to the gas here and they're giving the Aussies a spanking. The Aussies did have 2 people in the bin for 10 minutes, so that probably opened up the floodgates. Looks like Tim's been chipping up.
Yeah, Tim got a lot of chips there. Max Devison on the short side.
Second bullet for Max, he was out earlier.
And Alvin still got a lot of chips.
So the update on the score is 56 minutes played, Australia 13, New Zealand 31. So quite a big deficit for the Wallabies to make up. Of course, the best result for us would be a draw. And we have to play Argentina soon, so.
And Sugi there in the center of picture, he's wearing his Bozo's weight in jewelry.
I never said that, eh? I never said that, Dave. It wasn't me. I'm going to tell Dave that. I'll send him a text message right now.
Here we go.
So Edgar will fold, I would imagine. And Howard will definitely not be folding here in the cutoff with the King Jack of Spades. Not very pretty, but very helpful. I prefer them in red, but Howard raises it up to 18. Sugi with the offsuit connectors.
Fold. Howard will get the raise through.
Well done, Howard.
So the time has passed for when you said you would adjudicate your hat competition.
Run through the runners and riders again so everybody knows, Mark.
All right, so we had 8 entrants. Gareth Wilkinson said Daniel Negreanu because of the way he reads the game. Brent Johnson came with Alvin Pillay because of the way he pillays the game.
Yeah, he's not
that was the little pun on words. Barry Stemmert went for Phil Ivey because of the way he reads the game. Andre Pretoria said Henny Appel, also for good reading. Thomas Hendricks went for George Hendricks, family member, and it was a little inside joke. Martin de Kock went for Ronnie Dos Santos because of, says he's a cool guy and got his own poker room, etc. Z.A. Stone said Nolene Vessels because she's so beautiful, and Bianca Ferreira went for Max Devison because of the aggressive style.
Okay, so was it Martin de Kock that spoke about Ronnie Dos Santos?
Yep.
So one of South Africa's premier cameramen, Martin de Kock, if you didn't know that. You're the winner of a hat. Because I like the fact you picked a local player. I like the fact that you picked somebody who's standing up and doing the business in the high roller. And yeah, and Ronnie is a good kid, you know, and I remember him when he first started playing poker. So we'll give Martin de Kock the hat. Just got to come find me, Martin.
Yeah, and
I know he's busy at work, so I saw on his Facebook page this morning. But,
the other thing for Martin is that Ronnie has cashed 2 events already. He finished 4th in the Little Slam and he made final table in the free roll as well.
yeah, so Martin de Kock, you just won yourself a Sunbet reversible waterproof hat. How about that?
If Gary will allow you, I will bring it back for you. I know Martin very well and I see him fairly often.
There you go. It looks like you've got a courier.
And meanwhile, we go back to the hand. Abdul Essa will take, will fold there. Fold to Mark shove. Mark had the flush draw and straight draw. And he picks up the plus 65k. So Abdul a bit on the short side now, 149k. And we know whose stack that is from the ring from last night. That is Fayyad Albertus.
There it is. There's Martin de Kock, hard at work. He's on a camera shoot. So
there we go. He's an avid watcher of the stream when he gets a moment, normally after hours.
So there you go. I present on behalf of me and Sunbet Poker Tour a waterproof reversible hat to Mr. Martin de Kock via my mate Mark Water. sorted, geezer.
There we go.
The
Well done.
competition is over, and we are on to our next one, the poker awards. I'll find something to give away, don't worry. I'll go and raid the merchandising tent at Sunbed. Anyway, so let's have some ideas for poker awards. That's our next thing. 60 minutes gone nearly in the rugby, 31-13. Back to the action. And Sugi's got himself some widely connected but suited
Yes.
hearts here. 4, 6, 7.
So Naeem and Sugi flop the up and down, and as did Abdul with top pair. So they've all got the up and down.
Everybody has a piece of that with a 5.
The problem, if the 8 comes, Sugi will be smashing them.
Yep, he has got the best draw of the lot. But of course, Abdul with the made hand with the 7 at the moment. So he's the lead in the house, as they say.
He bets 7 and he's going to call by both players. Oh no, Lamas says, I will raise my draw.
Asking the question.
32k. So now Abdul is short stacked and he's got to call 25k more. He's top pair with the draw, and I think that's going in. It's the baby, which will probably get rid of Sugi now,
I would suspect so.
who had the best draw.
Yeah, that flop would have needed to have contained at least 2 hearts for him to have been calling it. Up and down with the flush draw is 60%. He's sitting a lot less than that at the moment. Sugi is going to give us the perplexed look now, his normal MO.
I wonder if Sugi has already folded. And he's holding his card, but he's folded.
If he's folded, those cards should be in the deck.
And Lam says, I can't call with a 5. Sugi shows they've got a 5 as well. And Abdul shows the 7-5, the made hand with a 5.
But well done indeed.
And Abdul will chip up very nicely there, plus 51k, which is substantial to his 150k stack. It was a 33% increase.
And the Wallabies have scored. So they're making a fist of it. Now they've got 15 players back on the park. Nice breakthrough straight down the middle. Flips it inside. Side steps 2 defenders. Bang. Left of the post. Should be an easy kick. Didn't know we could do rugby commentary as well, did you?
Well, as a ex-international rugby sevens referee, Gary, you are fully qualified to do that.
Yeah, I don't know these days. I'm not fast enough, that's for sure.
Yeah, but you can do it from the television side.
Yeah, for sure. Anyhow, nice try there by Andrew Kellaway. Great step. What a beautiful piece of rugby.
So
Enjoyed that.
Davey Rolfe talking to Stephen Courtney there, so he's standing up. So I don't know if he's still in. He was playing this event.
Who was that, sorry?
Stephen Courtney.
Yeah, who was the other player?
He was talking to David Rolfe standing up for TD.
David
So
Rolfe.
hopefully he's just having a little word with him about something and not being eliminated for his sake.
We agree. Queen 10 versus Queen 10 here. Suited versus the unsuited variety.
So Howard will take that hand down, plus 15k,
Howard quietly chipping away.
as he always does. Just goes about his business quietly. And also thoroughly loves his poker. And Nicky was saying how much his dad enjoys his poker. He says it passes the time for his dad. His dad has great passion. I mean, over 80 years old, still playing and loving the game.
Yeah, as I've said, he's my sort of life goal. I want to be the same as Peter when I'm in my late 80s or my early 80s. JP's got his jacket on there. Must be getting a bit chilly down the edges. Benny Quinn So, familiar with all those players from our previous session. We're back to the main table.
Lum is raised from the cutoff with king, queen off. Abdulesa on the button with pocket eights. It's just flattered. Howard now with ace king though is not going to flat.
Well, we might see a
There it comes.
here.
And Howard will get respect when he 3-bets. 3-bets to set. Lum's very fast out the way. Abdul with pocket eights. But you'll see he's already in folding mode because it's Howard. He flashes the eights. Howard won't show anything. Quietly into the muck. Rack the chips. Picks up plus 36k.
Afterwards a little chirp at Howard about 3-betting him.
And there he is, I'll give it with a big smile on his face. He's been so quiet, we've hardly seen him. And on the outer table, he's having a little joke and a laugh there. Nice to see.
I thought he'd forgotten how to talk, to be honest.
Yeah, so quiet when he's on the feature table, it's unbelievable.
He's not like that in real life, trust me. Okay, Mark Liffman to play right of screen here. 7-3 offsuit. They'll be going back to the dealer.
Sugi.
Pocket jacks. The old hooks. 15k in the pot. And we all know there's 3 or 4 ways to play these, and they're all wrong. So let's see which wrong way he gets. Raises 17k. I don't know why it is. Everybody feels the need to show jacks if they win. It's kind of like a thing, you know.
It's kind of like the hoodoo hand. I won with him. I won with him.
I won with jacks. Tick it off. Put it in your diary.
Oh, you'll love that flop.
There we go. So Marco, pocket sixes are in bad shape here. He checks. Sugi surely is going to check.
He's not checking. He's going for the small size. The like I missed in with ace king.
Yeah, a bit of reverse psychology. Excuse me, yawning. Sorry, folks.
And then the non-believer because of the 1 over card.
And the board pairs, of course, now. 2 pairs for Marco. And an unassailable lead for Sugi with his full house. He is... Everything Marco puts in there is drawing dead.
And Sugi does the tricky thing and checks the turn, which makes it now look like ace king. So he has set the trap. Now he needs to fire in a little...
Wait for the face. Wait for Sugi's face.
Yeah.
There we go. We're going to have the perplexed look.
Oh, I really don't like this.
There we go. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Hating this flop and that, but I've got to bet my ace king now because there's 2 pairs on the board and I'm ace high.
The silver surfer is in town.
57k and he must overbet it. He mustn't make it a value bet. He needs to overbet it.
Half pot, I reckon.
Gazza's saying half pot. Way and I got calling for the... I think Gary was closest last time.
Well, you know, that's what I would bet, half pot. $47,
so he's gone for
well, you bet the pot almost.
3/4, yeah, closer to the pot. More than 3/4, almost pot size. Nice size. He's going to get paid. Yeah, put him on ace high and pay him. Watch this. The check on the turn. And it's a tough spot for Marco because Sugi's played it perfectly like it's ace king or ace queen. Played it very well. That crying call sort of thing is like... Oh.
The Aussies are happy they brought Kellaway on her. He's just scored another try. $25.31 kick to come.
There goes the call,
Yeah,
and Sugi gets paid.
Well done, Sugi. The Oscar goes to...
And they all say to him, very nice. Marco, sure. Okay, I got head.
Lekker, nice one. Shame, man.
I got head. But that was well played by Sugi. The small bet on the flop, the check on the turn.
27-31, 4 points the difference, and still time for the Aussies to win. Even better, still time for them to draw.
And as Gazza said, the pained look.
He's wonderful. I love Sugi. It's just great. He's very expressive, his face.
That's awesome.
I'm not criticising him. He's my buddy.
Absolutely.
But, I love the faces. They just crack me up.
Yeah, we love Sugi. Good man.
So 12 minutes to go in the rugby. 27-31 in favour of the All Blacks. Off and running again here. Let's have some graphics, please, boys. Thank you. Sugi will be our under the gun player. Queen 6 offsuit.
Run to Abdul in the hijack with a 9-8. He's going to raise. Run to Malco in the small blind. Small pair again. Hoping to fare better than he did with the sixes. Makes the call. Round to Mark Liffman in the big blind. He'll come along with a 3-2 suited. Ryan Dreyer used to call that the silent nuts. When it hits, nobody ever sees it coming.
Very nice. There we go. 2 spades.
But how's the flop for Abdul?
Yeah, beautiful.
Flops the nut straight.
Flops the joint. I don't know if he's going to get paid, but 4 on the turn would be juicy. The thing is, we've got to get to the turn.
Yeah, he's going to put a small bet. He's going to do exactly what Sugi did.
Without the acting.
Yeah, with just the stoical look.
Yeah.
Marco, no, you're not getting burnt twice, and there's nothing for
I was
Marco.
going to say Mark can't continue here either.
No.
So.
And Abdul will give a little rise smile. We'll think, oh my, I didn't get paid. But if you raise with 9-8 from the hijack and you flop the joint and you've had 2 callers, it's a pretty good result. There's a view of those outer tables. Don't see Stephen Courtney there anywhere, so he may have been eliminated. We'll confirm that. Lovely view of that feature table. Sunbet logo. Lum folds.
I was chatting to Lum last night after his session on the table. He said, you know, I was just completely card dead. I've never been that card dead in my life.
And he was frustrated. You could see his body
2
language.
hours
Yeah.
without playing a hand. And I said, I watched you.
Yeah.
He said, I had 1 hand, you know, and that was it. And I spoke to Joe the same now. He said, I have 1 hand. He said, I tried to bluff any apple. He said, it felt to me like he had the nut flush. I said, it felt that to me as well.
Yeah.
Of course, the half an hour had elapsed, so we could talk about the hand. And he was within earshot, so we all had a bit of a giggle about it. Yeah, nice bluff.
So raised by Marco and all in from the small blind by Mark Liffman.
Yeah, aces or kings apply only, and that's it, done and dusted.
Cannot call with king queen. Shows them. Mark just shows him the ace queen. Says, I had you dominated.
Yeah. So back to the action. Abdul raised and takes that down with a 15k profit. It looks like there might be another score in the Wallabies game. If it is, it'll be a hell of a comeback. We'll just check that for you in a moment. We're still busy looking at the screen there. So it looks like Pete Samu, I think, has just gone over. I'm not entirely sure. No, I think there might be a penalty. I'm not sure. It's 32-34 now. So if it's a conversion, it's for a draw. That's a great kick, that's for sure. So it is a conversion, and it's 34-34. If we can get a draw out of this, it'll just be the best result ever. 6 minutes to run. It's the All Blacks. Don't count your chickens for the hatch. Back to the action here, and it's King Jack for Howard Liffman. Mark has gone to have his lunch, so that's why you're only hearing my voice. Jack 10 for Mark Liffman. He calls the 17k. Suki gets out of the way. Abdules's 6-5 offsuit. Bonus point for the Aussies for their tries. So that'll impact the table, of course. Abdules's 6-5, 11,000 call in the big blind. Looks down at his chips. Telltale sign he's going to put some in the middle. Looks like a smooth call for the 6-5. And cut off under the gun +1, and the big blind will go to the flop. Jack, Jack, Queen. Not bad if you're Howard Liffman, not bad if you're Mark Liffman. This is going to be feisty. Super feisty. If the kicker plays, it's going to be carnage is what it's going to be. But it's got all the elements of a chop pot here. Mark will take his time. Doesn't want him to know he's too keen. And a flat call. Abdul will be out of the way, PDQ. And that is what they call a full house. Howard cannot be beaten. So Mark, every chip you put in here, it's going to be burnt, unfortunately. So you got Mark Liffman to bet, and he just... Oh no, we're just catching up on the graphics here. So raise to 70, 50 to call. Yeah, so Mark has put another 50 in here, and he's drawing dead. And he won't know that. I mean, he's got such a strong hand here. I mean, it's just... I don't know how he gets away from it, personally. I just don't know how he gets away from it. Australia at the penalty to take the lead. And Mark's thinking about all options here, and it's good that he is, but he's going to put it in. He'll get snap called here by Howard, I'm sure. He's not got a boat. He drew it dead. Look at this. Unlucky, Mark. Unlucky. I don't know anybody else who would. I mean, he's drawing dead. This is just to go through the process. It doesn't matter if a 10 comes. There is no saviour. Apart from the king. Like even the king is no good. So I think Howard covers Mark. We'll just have to do the mathematics here. But it's likely. And Australia have come from like the phoenix from the ashes, and they're 37-34 ahead. What a game of rugby. And now New Zealand have got a penalty. This is definitely tic-tac-toe. You've got to kick it, boys. We want to draw. And we're able to give you the commentary here of the rugby because no, they've gone for the corner. typical All Black style. Mark leans back and smiles. I don't know if that means that he's covered or if he's not covered. Our maths would say it is covered. Blessing's just taking his time. New Zealand pumped it into the corner, looking for a classic line-out maul. Aussies throwing everybody at it, keep them out of the line. Penalty to the Australians under their own post, and they breathe a sigh of relief. 90 seconds to go on the clock. Blessing still doing the counting at the feature table. So it looks like Mark might have a few chips left. So Mark has some chips behind. And we're on to the next hand. I don't know what's happening in the game at the All Blacks, etc., but there's a serious amount of controversy underneath the post here with the Wallabies and the New Zealanders. We're just getting a shot of one of the outer tables there. Dealers have obviously got some time on their hands. Very pretty, well done. Back to the feature table. Howard Liffman 10-5 at diamonds. The actor come rugby player Nick White is getting a finger from the referee here, proper telling off. Mark Hogan 9, I think, and of course Mark is going to be all in here with it. Well, he's got a hand, and the irony is it's Jacks having just been caned with Jack 10. And I think what happened in the rugby is he took too long to take the kick, and he's brought them back for a scrum under the post, which is madness. Okay, back to the Mark's all in. Call. Abdul call. So Hector calls. 4-4-5. Mark's Jack still ahead. Penalty to New Zealand. Pick up a drive by New Zealand, looking for a try. Back to the all in here on the table. 7 on the river. Mark Liffman's Jacks will hold up here. And New Zealand score in the corner. Mark Liffman tables his Jacks, and he'll take down the pots. In the 80th minute and 48 seconds, and New Zealand steal it from underneath the Aussies' noses. The Australians will be devastated, and we'll hear about that referee call for weeks and weeks to come. I'm pretty sure that he called time on the kicker. Took too much time to take the kick. Well, I know he called something and he awarded it the opposite way and gave a scrum, so that is the law of the game. So we shall see. And we'll go on to the next hand on the feature table. Marco Machia. Looks like he's going to fold these. Mark's already away from the table. Sugi to act. So Edgar with the queens will take that down. Sorry for the break there, we're just losing internet. It's coming up and going down. So the controversy is the referee is escorted off the pitch. You don't often see that in rugby. Escorted, and he's getting bird from everybody. And Nick White can't stay away from controversy, as you might have noticed. So Marco called? No. Abdul called, I saw that. Abdul raised. 21. Edgar call. So 2 players. Edgar and Abdul. Okay, we're catched up. Queen 8-2. Both players holding the same hand. And this is going to be one of those hands that just wasted a minute of my life, I think. So apologies if you've experienced any break in transmission. We did lose our internet for a short period of time. A lovely shot there from the outside into the feature table. Very nice. And it appears that the internet has come back up again, so good for them. Hand number 58 of the day, 3,000, 6,000, 6,000 on the big blind ante. And Sugi will be our under the gun player in seat number 6. Okay, Sugi, what are you going to do with those? Going away. Lum, card dead. And he must be getting frustrated, Lum, because yesterday he was card dead all day as well. Just a bit unfortunate. And Brad says at least the internet's working. I've got a spinning wheel here, but we'll see. Mark is back from his lunch.
Thanks, Geza.
No problem. Only a pleasure. You missed all the excitement.
I heard some excitement, and I couldn't see it from the back there, so I'm sure I'll get filled in.
Yeah, there was a draw, and then there was controversy, and then he took too long over a kick, and what a big story. Yeah. Well, trust me, we will not have heard the last of it.
Okay, and the big hand that Mark lost all his chips to Howard.
Yeah, I mean, he has, he had Jack 10, and Howard had Jack King. Long story short, the board runs out Jack King, and
Sure.
Mark is paying.
100%
But
of the top jacks.
yeah, I mean, he's just a prisoner. There's nothing you can do. All right, I'm going to sign off for a couple of minutes, just eat some food, and I'll be back momentarily.
Right, so Gary will go and have his lunch after I've had mine. Move on to the next hand. So, catching up with the action. Lum is folded. Abdul Essa is coming up with a raise. He just lumped in to get the count there. Once he chips in front of Abdul, so he hasn't folded. Mark Liffman says to him, your ace-3 is no good, and wow, he actually has ace-3. But Mark Liffman sitting with ace-deuce, trying to spin it up, he gets Abdul to fold.
Miles in front. You definitely ahead. No one wants to gamble. You definitely ahead. I'm not going to. Yeah, there's no way you can. How can you not be the truth? Yeah, when he said ace-3, you must say, okay, he's got ace-3.
Lum says he called your hand ace-3.
But I'm not going to burn my 6 reputation plays a big thing.
Dealers are sorting out the cards. Whose card is whose? Abdul will be under the gun. So round to Edgar. Folds, round to Howard. King, Queen in the hijack. Chipped up significantly from that hand that Gary told me about. Marker folds ace-9. Mark with pocket 2s. He's going to be doing a lot of that until he spins it back up. Sugi with ace-queen. They're all aware of what he's doing. I think Sugi's going to make the call here. Sugi makes the call.
Read this one, you back in, you just need it. I need a little dinky do. We've got chips though. I can't even show my cards. I'll tell you if I'm looking good or not. When I see the flop, let's see.
Howard is called as well. So three ways to this. Gut shot for Howard. Pocket 2 still amazingly ahead here. Sugi and Howard check. Oh, and there's the gin card for Howard. And he's going to bet it. Sugi's going to call because he's got up and down. Five, no help for Sugi, so Sugi will get away from it. He checks. Howard will carry on betting. Putting value bets in there with his nut straight. Sugi has to fold, yeah. Shows ace queen, folds.
I remember on the flop, I said you in front.
So Mark Liffman is eliminated now, and Howard will chip up significantly again. Because got all Mark's chips, the 122k plus the Sugi call plus the bet on the turn. So big chip up for Howard.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for king to come. King come is the baby.
If you re-raise, he folds, Mark wins raise.
Exactly.
With the twos, if he goes there, then Mark wins. Yeah, Mark wins raise.
So folded round 2 Howard in the hijack, still stacking chips. Hasn't even got space over his box to put his cards. So he just folds it. Round to Sugi. On the button, 8-6. Limps in. Naeem gets out the way. Abdul 9-8 suited. He's going to raise it. Sugi folds. And Abdul will get that through. So nice to hear a nice buzz out there in the poker room. A lot of excitement around this event. As I said, it is the Aston Shiong Memorial. Nice tribute to him. And it's been very well attended. Still got 5 tables going. A number of re-entries, and so I think it was in excess of 50 entries. So Ronnie De Santos in the front, Nicky Sisu in the center there, Kivit on his left, back of Bozo. Robert Carley also at that table. So Howard under the gun. It's on 1 million chips now. See people joining back on the stream. There's a little dip in the internet, so restarted 10 minutes ago. Second walk, Abdul says, I'm giving you. Fayad Albert, he was on the Alberts, he was on the feature table last night. Had over 700k overnight. Seemed to have a lot of chips when I went out there.
Yeah, you would have won it. He re-raises, he still wins it. Yeah, he wins it pocket.
You only win with the jack or the king.
That's why he said, yeah.
So action on Marco. He was doing quite well. He's down to, I see now, to 146k while I was having my lunch. Folded round to Abdul on the button. He's going to use the button and raise with the jack deuce. And Howard has come along. Just check there. And Edgar. So Edgar checks. Howard checks. And the pre-flop aggressor with the jack 2 is going to bet and get both players to fold. Totally dominated by both players. Just using the position shows you the power of the position and reputation. Combination of the two. Directly behind, that's the table that came off the feature table. Joe Steggers, Johan de Graaf, JP Oaks, Henny Appel and Tim Akanusi there. Alvin Pillay, sporting a lot of chips there. So action on Sugi. Under the gun, 7-4 off. And a fold. A little frustrated, not getting much to play with. Abdul 9-8. Last time he raised with it, he flopped the straight. He'll be hoping for a repeat of that. Edgar on the button. Ace 5 suited. He wants to see a flop. Howard folds. Round to Marco. In the big blind. The problem is, when you're shorter stacked and you keep thinking, I need to defend, I'm priced and that, but just bleed chips, and he decides that he's rather going to fold and get out the way. Preserve the chips that he has. So 5 for Edgar, nothing for Abdul, and Edgar has position over him. Let's see, Abdul, I raised pre, I must continue. Puts a small bet in. Called by Edgar. Turn no help to Abdul. Abdul increases the size of the bet on the turn, making it look like he did a downsized bet on the flop because he hit big. See Edgar's look. A little smile by Abdul. And I think this is going to be enough to get it done. Shows him the 5. Pick one, he says. Little banter between them. Abdul making out like he had pocket nines and that he was ahead. That's the thing, when you say pick one, you rip whatever you want. But I think Edgar knows that he was had. Unless there was a king with it. Yep. So Lum under the gun. Ace 8. From early position. See 928 subscribers, so still climbing. You guys must keep subscribing, those that haven't. Like the video every time. It does help out the channel a ton. So Howard raising from the button with a 7-5 suited. Sugi defending with a 10-6 suited, same suit. So he's dominating the spades war. Sort out the change. And Howard flops huge. Flops took 5s. Raise with a button with that, and you're running well. This is what happens. And Howard is running well at the moment. As with the hand against Mark Liffman, and then to eliminate him again, he made the straight on the turn. So it's bet and call. Gut shot for Sugi now. Checks. Howard will continue a little bit deeper. Look at that. And now he's making it expensive for Sugi. The problem is if Sugi tries to rep the 5 because that's the blind range, I was the one sitting on the button with it. And the 40k bet gets it done, Sugi folds. Shows Sugi the 5.
Or maybe ace 5 is also good. Suited. 7-7.
Sugi's saying, what are you raising my blind with a 5 in it?
He comes there, you did. Maybe ace 5 and ace 8.
There's Robert making his way out of the poker room. So don't know if he's been eliminated. Would appear so.
Big flash comes.
It's action on Abdul under the gun.
Guys, whatever happens, I'm going to defend this blind.
I'm saying, whatever happens, I'm defending my blind. I've had enough. Giving him the speech.
Better because I'm going to defend. I'm going to go all up.
7,000.
All in from Marco with the ace king. So now Liffman's going to have to see what he's got after that speech. Oh, he's got ace queen suited.
He miscounted. You gotta play. How much? 124
So I'm saying I've got to keep true to my word, and he's going to call with the ace queen suited. So ace queen suited versus ace king. Marco is at risk. He doesn't want to find the king now. 3 outs for Lum at the top there. Top abilities now. And doesn't get there, and Marco will get a double up. So welcome double up for Marco. The speech of Lum and everything, he put it all in to Lum, and Lum found a hand. First hand Lum picks up for a while, and he's dominated. More action on the outer tables. On the craft this side, Tim looks like he's in a big hand there, a lot of chips in the middle. There's Robert walking back in. There is a satellite going to be running on the outer tables there. View across there, I think that is a satellite going on down out there. Main event satellite. Action on Edgar under the gun. Round to Marco. Marco is raised. The pocket aces. Sugi has folded, Lum has folded, round to Abdul, he folds. It's only Edgar in the big blind. Queen 9. They will know one another, local boys. Edgar folds, and Marco shows him the bullets. Two Dayani brothers in the house, Danny and Haggai.
Big blind now, 7-7.
I would post the big blind. Action on Marco. Just had the double up with the ace king, then found aces. Yalopi's renewed good fortune continues. Sugi raises with the ace-9 from the hijack. Edgar in the small blind, just defending with the queen-3 suited. Howard in the big blind, 7-5. Howard comes along, he's got over 1 million chips. So Howard flops an up and down. Nothing else for any of the other players. Ace high still ahead. But you can see by the equity that Howard has bigger equity, and you'll bet it. We're going to lead into his equity, get Sugi to fold, and Edgar folds as well. Howard's reputation's solid and intact. So when he bets, he gets the respect, and he can bet his draws and get people to fold. Somebody in a hand out there with a chip on the cards. That is Alvin Pillay. Recognize his spinner there. JP Oaks to his left. Alvin in a hand here. Who's he in the hand with? Cut away from there. So action on Sugi under the gun. So Sugi. Lamas called from the hijack, raised by Abdulesa in the cutoff. Round to Marco in the big blind, ace-4 suited. His newfound wealth, he's going to see a flop. Eight, 3, 9. Lum checks. Action back to Abdul, who raised. He's going to continue. Marker out the way. Action on Lum, and he's already folded.
shot.
Lam ever looking for information, tells him show, show, show. So Lam under the gun. Queen 10 off. Puts in the raise. Edgar folds. Round to Howard's, folded already. Marco's out the way. It's just Sugi left in the big blind. Queen 8 off. He makes the defense.
Yeah, the keeper.
So all hearts on that flop, and Sugi has the queen of hearts. Sugi leads into it and gets Lam to fold a better hand. So we move on to the next hand.
So I see I'm back from lunch, by the way. The blinds are up, I see, 357. Interesting level.
So King Jack for Abdul. From under the
Have we
gun.
lost anybody? Have we gained anybody? Looks like it's an empty seat there.
Yeah. Mark Liffman is out.
I saw him do the jack, obviously the jacks thing.
Yeah, and then he lost with the pocket twos. He jammed all in with pocket twos. Got called by Sugi with ace queen and Howard by king queen.
Okay.
Howard made the straight.
Well, I didn't see that one. That's the one I was missing.
And as it's come up to speed there, the chips will be going towards Lam.
Well, nice to see Lam win a pot.
Yeah, it was raised by Abdul, called by Edgar, 3-bet by Lam. He's been a bit frustrated and he made a statement. I'm defending my big blind no matter what. So Marco finds ace king, jams it all in from the button.
Yeah.
Lum looks down, scored ace queen suited. Says, well, I have to keep my word now. And he called and doubled up Marco.
Okay.
Marco had about 120k at the time.
I think hand buys itself there, especially when you're in frustrated mode.
Yeah, and when you've given the speech. And I think that's why Marco shoved and didn't raise. But I think the hand plays the same anyway. If he raised, I think Glum was re-raising him anyway.
My thoughts exactly. I was just thinking that.
Faisal in the background there next to Nikki Sisu. I believe there's a satellite that started out there as well now.
Well, you can go wonder, or I can go wonder, up to you. Mark's going to go wonder. He's got to get some steps in. He's slacking on his steps. So we'll follow the action here. And Marco has raised to 22,000 here. In the cutoff, I see. Lumber's got to put another 18, he could put 18.5 in. So he doesn't want to see spades, Marco, that's for sure.
72. The range is 72.
Have Dollar get out the way.
The range is 72.
So the 3-bet from Lum, sniffed it out by the look of it. And Marco deciding whether to call, fold, or re-raise. So he's just going to call.
Only 2,000.
Yeah, leave the 2 in.
2,000.
Jack 4-2. So unbelievably, Marco hits his 4 here and is ahead. So Lum continues the story and bets out 90k. I mean, I don't think there's many people in the world who can continue here, other than to just try and rep something. But, sure, it's a tough line that's been taken by Lum.
Hundreds.
Yeah, well played, Lum.
Show. Wait, hold on. Maybe if you want to show. No, no.
So if you want to show, I'll show. Lum was proud of that one, but he wanted the information. But Marco like, no thanks. And trust me, Lum got the information he needed. Okay, 50 people new to the stream, so let's have some more subscribers if you don't mind. Need to get those numbers up so we can make our 1,000 by the weekend. 928 at the last look. Sounds like a 1-minute warning on the level. Still on 928, just check the Liffman's now. Right, hi Liffman first to act, Jack 10. Did 1.1 million under the gun, he's back to us there. Played very steady today. Shout out to the Liffman family if you're watching. Understand there's a second grandchild on the way, Darren, so congrats to you and your good lady. Sugi out the way.
But you see, if I dump him, he's going to get take advantage.
Lum giving the mandatory speech.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Four putting chips in the middle and in position. Queen 10 for Abdul.
Punish him.
Here are blinds up, so I don't know if that was ours or not.
Only because we know your hand. If we know that you're Queen 10. I'm looking that's why everybody checks it, let you know.
So that clock must be the satellite that's playing.
Yeah, don't check.
My mate Brandon tells me the blinds have just gone up. So I'll get Brandon to show me a timing clock in a moment, and then we'll get that right. And continues here. So we've got about 39 minutes to go on the level.
Queen 10.
Thank you, Mr. Brandon. And Abdul picked that up. Hits his queen on the flop. Good for Abdul. Abdul been pretty quiet. I know I've been away for lunch, but he's been pretty quiet all the same. Okay, we're off and running. And 75 of the day, 3,500, 7,000, 7,000 on the big blind ante. And Marco Machaya, local PE guy. Been present in most of our tournaments this week and acquitted himself very, very well. So good for you, Marco. Nice to see on the feature table. Sugi with the 6-5 off will get out of the way. Lam 8-3, no good.
7,000.
Abdul with 10-9 in position here on the button.
Raise 18. 18.
Action back to Howard. Queen 7 suited in the big blind. He's going to join the action. And we will have two players to the flop. 5-10-6, pair of 10s for Abdul. Some backdoor possibilities for Howard. You'll need to see a free turn. Don't think you're going to get him to pay for a turn. Howard folds. I still didn't find out that chap's name, but it's sat there. I'm sure he's Jed. Fired so next to him. In the distance, of course, Rudy, then Anand Kumar and JP Oates. So Mark is there sojourning about, checking out what's going on, what's occurring. And I have no doubt whatsoever that he'll be walking back behind that screen in a second. And returning to the fray here in the back. Sugi is our under the gun player. He is folded already. No, he hasn't even got his cards yet. I'm saying he's folded.
Sevens to play.
So Sugi folds. Ace-8 for Lum. Mark. We saw you on camera sprinting out there, Mark.
Catch the viewers up once we finish with the hand.
This seems to be a pretty dead hand, to be honest. There's not much occurring. So there you go. In the hijack and call. Big blind checks it back. 10-7-2. So looks like Marco's 7 is in good shape here.
It looked like he wanted to bet and then checked. Should bet it now. Checks again.
1.5.
So now Lam bets. Makes the call.
Nice call, sir.
Gets his change. King's a card that and Lam will steal that